So now I'm going to go ahead and introduce the next panel. We're talking about digital infrastructures. We have Eric Winner, who's the VP of Engineering at Gemini. We have Daniele Sesdagali, who's the CEO of Zulu Republic, which is an identity-based blockchain, and Adas Rosen, who's the VP of Marketing at Simplex, which deals with fraudless payment processing. So can you please give a very warm welcome to these wonderful people, and can we get this podium taken down? Otherwise, it'll be a strange... thank you so much. All right, warm welcome to our wonderful panelists. And while they're just setting up there, just another reminder. So tonight we have a really exciting mixer planned. I think that it's only available for VIP tickets, but you can purchase a pass just to attend the mixer tonight. So if you wanted to check that out, then go to the registration desk. I'm particularly excited because we've got all sorts of musical performances, and I'm in the way. All sorts of musical performances and exciting things going on. I'm actually doing, so I do like a really silly, ridiculous quiz show, and they asked me to do the quiz show at the mixer tonight as well. And so I was like, well, I can't really do a quiz show with Charlie at the conference unless he's a contestant. So he agreed to be a contestant in the quiz show, which is going to be interesting. I have lots of questions about Litecoin, so I wonder if he will be able to answer them, and we will have to see that. All right, thank you so much, guys. This is really exciting. So just to start off with, I did introduce your names earlier, but if you just wanted to take turns to go down the line and just let everyone know who you are and who you work with, and tell us just like a quick overview of the platform. Let's start with you, Eric.
Sure. Hey, I'm Eric Weiner. I'm the VP of Engineering over at Gemini. Gemini is one of the world's first and foremost regulated digital asset exchanges and custodians. We're based in New York. We've got an office also in Portland, Oregon, not in San Francisco. Sorry, guys. But we currently support Bitcoin, Ether, and Zcash, but we are working on Litecoin.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. I'm the CEO of Zulu Republic. We just came out from stealth mode about a couple of months ago. We are a company based in Zug, in Switzerland. We fly over here. It's very nice in California right now. And what we do is that we develop technology to help people in underdeveloped countries, and our current main focus is self-sovereign identity and adoption. So you will see also panels of our company also tomorrow about this, and we will talk about identity today.
My turn? Hey, everybody. Good morning. You first. My name is Adas Rosen. I'm the VP Marketing of Simplex. We're actually based in Tel Aviv in Israel. And what we do, we make sure that mainstream users can purchase crypto in an easy and fraudless way. What we really do on a daily basis is make sure that fraudsters cannot purchase crypto with credit card, and that all users are actually legitimate users, and they're holding their own credit card before they're actually purchasing. And so our specialty is really bridging the gap, the regulation gap, between the fiat and the crypto. We are a European licensed company, so we are allowed to hold and take care of the fiat money from the user perspective. On the other hand, make sure that at the end they buy safely the crypto. And I just want to thank the Litecoin Foundation for inviting us to come here today.
So I have some questions for all of you, but just to start off with, I have some specifically tailored questions to each of the platforms. They're all very different, and we've got different areas of blockchain to cover. So I'm actually going to start with you, Eric. Recently, Gemini announced the Gemini dollar, which is a stable coin. I just wanted you to let people know what it is, how it works, and how it could benefit people.
Yeah, sure. So we're really excited about this. We launched the Gemini dollar just this past Monday. This is the world's first regulated stablecoin, which is really exciting. A stablecoin you heard a little bit about stablecoins in the last presentation about how you've got your fiat-backed ones and your crypto-backed ones. Gemini Dollar is a fiat-backed stablecoin, which actually isn't that hard a computer science problem. But what it really is a trust problem. And we think we've solved that. We are regulated by New York State and other state and international regulators. We have your fiat funds are held in one of the largest and oldest banks in the United States, and they're FDIC insured in case anything happens to us or if anything happens to that bank. We're audited by a very well-regarded independent auditing firm is going to be taking a look at all the numbers every month and making sure that they're still in line. And that's really the keys to making a good stablecoin. And so from there, we're very excited about being able to enable faster money movements of USD between different crypto exchanges all over the world, as well as enabling more decentralized applications to use just the dollar as their currency instead of having to use using Litecoin, using Ether, using Bitcoin is great, but for a lot of use cases, it can be a lot better just to move dollars over a blockchain. So it's something we're really excited about for the future.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I always, a lot of people talk about the friction that comes when you're going in and out of the traditional financial system. If you want to, get out of USD, if you're trying to play the markets, it's just really nice to have a tool within the cryptocurrency ecosystem to do that. So let's actually move on. We'll go to Daniele, and you're talking. Your platform Zulu, it's talking about distributed identity systems. It's about putting that on the blockchain. The idea is to protect people's privacy. So let's actually talk about how digital identity can help Litecoin in particular.
So this is very important because, of course, everybody can imagine why they are on stage about Litecoin, but how actually we are here is because we designed our solution to work as much as wider as possible with different type of blockchains. So in the case of Litecoin, it was very important to us to create a digital identity that could help the movement of money between different addresses in a regulated way. So we have to start thinking about what is a self-sovereign identity to understand how it can really help Litecoin. So let's start with the concept of privacy. So we all know what privacy means, but how can we really gain back the control of our data is the real question. And every day, even yesterday with the Google situation about elections and before Cambridge Analytica, you can imagine that where is my data? Where is held? So we started with this idea that I can own all my data. I already own it, kind of. But with the internet, it has been lost everywhere. So with our digital passport, you are getting back the control of your data. And that was very important. And in your data, there is also, for example, Litecoin address. And in the case of an exchange, for example, they use tools to check where the funds are coming from. For example, if they're coming from addresses that have been used in robberies or illegal activities. In the case of our digital identity solution, you could add your address to your identity, and you don't need to really share the information, for example, to an exchange to prove that you are actually a US citizen, so you can use Gemini, for example, that you're a resident outside of a certain state they might not operate. And this is very, very, very important for the future, I believe, of cryptocurrency in general, because we can see that the regulators are always coming after trying to see how to control Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the transactions that are coming in between. So it was very important for us to create one way to still retain this kind of control, but as self-sovereign. So you are the one that really have access to your data, but you can give it also in little pieces and components that you want to share to enable a real transaction, a real usage in the work case, a real work case scenario of cryptos.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Adas. So Simplex is a platform where you deal with fraudless payment processing there, and you enable people, as you mentioned, they can purchase crypto using credit cards, and you guys actually take full liability for this. So I mean, this is chargeback fraud is a huge problem with credit cards. So what are some of the obstacles that you guys have come across, and how are you dealing with them?
Okay, so I think that the main issue is really that in order for the crypto world, doesn't matter which coin, to succeed and to grow, we need to, now we're in a stage of growing, meaning that if today we have 30 million users that are using crypto worldwide, we want to reach 3 million users using crypto. Now, crypto is like regular e-commerce. People want the regular user experience that they know, that they go in eBay or Amazon or any other site, and they just use their credit card, and they are able to buy whatever they want with their credit card in a very fast and easy way, let's say it this way. And one of the main problems is that we're seeing, of course, with the crypto is that fraudsters, meaning people that are doing illegal things, and let's just make it clear that it's not regular people that just now want to steal Bitcoin, one or two Bitcoin. Those are mafias and organizations that this is what they do for their living. They actually steal crypto from mainstream users. They also understand the ease and the good about having Bitcoin or any other crypto, of course, Litecoin and on. And what our challenge is to make sure that in one hand, the mainstream user can go on any exchange, any wallet, decide to purchase crypto in a fast and easy, intuitive way, and on the other hand, to make sure that if it's not a legitimate user, we'll stop him on the way. And we take, as we said, full fraud-back liability, meaning that the exchange and the merchant, on the other hand, if we missed anything and at the end the user will do a chargeback, meaning that he will claim to his bank that he did not purchase the crypto, we will pay the bank instead of the merchant. This is the business program that we have, actually. So we have a full partnership, two partnership with our partners, but in one hand, we'll make money together with them if the conversion rate will be high, but on the other hand, if we will fall into those fraudsters, we will cover the cost.
Yeah, I think that generally, I mean, it's so nice to see the crypto space evolving and just see some of the friction that is prohibiting mainstream adoption start to be dealt with. You have different companies who are dealing with these specific issues. If they're used to the ease of the traditional payment processes,
exactly.
How can we say, well, this is interchangeable? In a way, it's not interchangeable. In a way, it's a different product. And the people who like crypto tend to prefer, they're into crypto for specific reasons. But it is nice to see that maybe this is opening up a whole market for people who perhaps weren't involved in crypto for the original reasons that most people got involved. Eric, let's talk with you a little bit. I want to know, Gemini, it's a big exchange, and it does really well. But you guys, you have to be compliant within US law, for example, and take people's data. Like, how do you keep data secure on the platform? What are some of the obstacles you come across, and how are you dealing with those?
Yeah, sure. So Gemini, as you said, it holds a decent chunk of the world's cryptocurrency, whether it's in our exchange platform or our institutional custody platform. And so security has to sort of permeate everything we do because it presents a big target for attackers. We can't just install Litecoin on a server and call it a day. It's just not gonna cut it. So we've had to do a lot of even original research into using things like military spec hardware security modules, HSMs, essentially Trezors or Nano S's on steroids. We've had to build, multi-sig vaults distributed around the country. And it's not even just technical problems. You've got to deal with the possibility of rogue employees, kidnap and ransom threats, natural disasters. And there's a certain set of skills and experience that helps you build this. So when we were first starting Gemini 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, we sort of tried to hire security and cryptography professionals first. So we ended up with, I think there's 5 people at the company who have run security teams before, organizational security teams before, whether it's at banks, startups, other exchanges, and everything in between. So getting the right people in place, getting the right technology in place from the start, so that you're making sure to to take care of your customers' funds, sometimes your customers' livelihoods. It's really paramount to us.
I mean, that seems to be such a complex issue when you're dealing with rogue employees in particular. I mean, that seems to be the way that a lot of places, like, that's a vulnerability. It must be a really hard process to vet people and to make sure you've got good personnel in place to safeguard.
Yeah, and controls.
Right.
You know, you can always you just put a bunch of different layers there. You do background checks, but you also build in technical controls and monitoring systems. Everything sort of just works together to make a secure platform.
Right. And then how are you, as the infrastructure of Gemini, plan to scale? I presume that we're looking for more people to enter the cryptocurrency market. And obviously, you know, if you guys implement Litecoin, that's going to open it up to an entirely new market as well. So are there scaling issues that you guys have faced?
Yeah. So actually, we always knew that we wanted to scale, you know, up to the level of, say, the New York Stock Exchange. And so we built like that from the start. So our problems have been less around technical scaling, sort of handling user growth, as it has been with adapting to the changing world of cryptocurrencies. Let me give an example of this. As a show of hands, how many of you guys owned Litecoin in 2014? Got a couple, good. And honestly, it really wasn't on our radar then when we were building our first sort of Bitcoin-focused wallet infrastructure. So when we think about scale, one of the things we have to do is figure out how can we change our architecture to adapt for where cryptocurrency is in 2018. It's been, unfortunately, a bit of a long and slow process because we want to do it carefully and securely. But I am pleased to announce that we will be launching Litecoin support on October 13th. Really want to thank you guys for your patience. The Litecoin community has been fantastic. And Charlie informed me that that's actually going to be the 7th birthday of Litecoin.
Oh, wow.
So
did you know that in advance?
Didn't even know that.
Oh, that's so cool. I like that. So we'll be keeping an eye out for that, and I'm sure lots of people will be jumping on board.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Daniele, I wanted to talk about privacy in particular. Now, obviously, digital identity systems and distributed identity are so important for safeguarding people. Like, identity theft is $1 trillion industry, and so when you have to give your information, it takes a lot to protect that data. So what you guys are trying to implement are those safeguards. Encrypt all of that content so you don't actually have to give it to platforms.
So I have to say that the biggest challenge on creating something like a self-sovereign identity, instead of the actual technology, is bringing it to the institutions and to the governments. Probably that's the biggest risk that we confront. Thank God blockchain has a very good track on security. So we are building on something that it's pretty solid. But every time that we confront ourselves with specifically governments and institutions, you have to try to take compromises, and we don't want to make compromises because we believe that the biggest challenge of building a digital identity and a passport, it's really making it ethically correct for everyone. That's why we built up a foundation that is a nonprofit that just develops that solution by itself. And we believe that if we can unlock this little thing, like giving back sovereignty to people, we can really unlock a lot of other things for everyone, even more in underdeveloped countries. For example, we are developing a solution utilizing SMS. It will be on Litecoin, so you could transact SMS. You probably already saw, and it was going around. But that solution is also the back end and the back-end structure for bringing also identity to SMS. Let's think about, for example, a refugee that is moving towards another country, fleeing war. How can they, for example, pre-register for a refugee camp? Is that possible? Can we bring this type of technology to these people? That is the most important challenge to us, and that's why we are building this technology with the SMS, USSD codes, for example, and that's why the ethics, it's the biggest challenge of security.
Right. So Adas, staying in the same vein before we talked about specific attacks that Simplex is guarding against when you have chargeback fraud and you have all that sort of thing. But now talking in terms of mainstream adoption and getting more people involved, what are some scaling issues that you guys have faced? How have you overcome these? And what are your aims in terms of getting more people involved?
Okay, so I think that we've been around for 4 years already. So let's say that there's two kinds of fraud types. One of them is when user is trying to purchase something with not a legitimate credit card, meaning that he stole the credit card details. This is what we call the easiest part, okay? Maybe for us, it's an AI machine learning system that has no problem with scalability and can take care of millions of transactions in an hour, and it's not really a big challenge. The big challenge today is what we call social engineering, is when actually a person is using his credit card and he knows that he's legitimate, he's using his own credit card, but he's doing something that he doesn't understand. There was a big epidemic actually in the US at the beginning of the year that was called tax scam. That bad people, let's call it this name, they used to call elderly people, took control of their computer and told them that if they want their computer to run again, to reopen the computer, they need to pay them an amount of money. Some of them were very clever and said, we're calling from Microsoft and we will save your computer now, just pass me this Bitcoin, pay me with Bitcoin, or there was also Litecoin, I think. And some of them were actually blackmailing them. And those elderly people purchased crypto with their credit card, and they knew exactly what they're doing, but of course they did not understand what they're doing. I mean, they did it with their own credit card, but they had no idea what they're doing, and of course, 2 days after that, all the chargebacks came in. So we actually now developed some new technology that will allow us to understand if somebody is actually controlling your computer. And we have those different routes that if we understand that it's a person that maybe somebody is trying to do something bad to them, then we'll ask him to send us a selfie video, but do you understand exactly what we're purchasing? There was another nice case study that we found out that there was a site that was acting as they were a phishing site for B&B, and people were purchasing actually hotels rooms and they've been asked to pay with crypto, mostly by Bitcoin. And of course, at the end, the honest user thought that he's purchasing an hotel room, but at the end, he was actually being attacked by some fraudsters. So I think that the main challenge today is not only to stop the fraudsters, is to make sure that we cover all aspects of types of frauds.
Right. So to sum up there, we've only got a few minutes. I just want to talk about the future. I want to talk about the future of Litecoin and your platforms and what you can see in the future. Like, what does the world look like in 5 years' time, and what does Litecoin look like in the world of blockchain technology? So we'll start with you, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, I think as everybody keeps on saying, it's early days. It's still really exciting. The phrase I keep on saying is that blockchain's technology is not going to get uninvented. The cat is out of the bag. And I'm not sure if Bitcoin or Litecoin or anything that we're talking about has really found its killer app. It's really found its niche yet, but it's going to. These technologies have value. Having sound money, having a payments currency, having a reserve currency, having stablecoins, having easy mobile apps, having fraud detection, having identity on the blockchain. These things are all going to build on each other and build a new ecosystem. And it may take decades, but that train is rolling and it's going to keep on happening.
Absolutely. Daniele?
I think that the future in general of blockchain, it's very bright because every day somebody comes towards us, send some email, we see feedback from the developing countries. For example, we see the case of Venezuela. We can already tell we have people down there, and we have also friends. They had already told us that crypto is really saving lives. And I believe that that's his own killer app. Actually, we already found it. The only thing is that sometimes we concentrate too much on investment. We concentrate on where Litecoin is going up and down. Are we going to get rich quickly?
Lambo.
But sometimes we should see the thing as it is, and there is people in Venezuela, there is people in South Africa currently that are searching Bitcoin the most. Why? Because they need this technology. They need to be outside of the problems that they're facing, and they can't do anything else apart of having that. So we should really bring this to them, and that I hope that is the future of blockchain, bringing that to them.
That's awesome. Adas?
So, of course, I share exactly the same thoughts as well. I have it too, yeah. But in general, I think that crypto is democracy. Democracy will win, is winning, and that's why crypto will win. Does not make sense that I need to pay so much money to my bank every time that I want to transfer money overseas. If I want to send an email today, there's no associated cost to that. If I want to make a phone call today, I can just use any IP application, and I don't have to pay as much money as we paid 15, 20 years ago. And this is what will happen with money. We're going to be able, we as people, to transfer money without the need to pay so much money to an institution bank that don't really give us any service. I think that's the bottom line.
The people are waking up, for
Yep.
sure.
Well, that's democracy.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's definitely a very exciting future. As you said, Eric, the cat is out of the bag. This tech can't be uninvented. We've got some really exciting things going on at the moment. So thank you so much for being here on the panel and for chatting. And you will get to hear some more exciting things going on after our lunch break, which is now. So thank you so much for being here, guys. If you guys wanted to go and grab lunch, we are back here at 12:45. So head back in here after the lunch break, and we'll get started with the afternoon.
That car that gave her problems. I'm just curious.